We are now in Emerald Twilight. This is Green Lantern issue 48 from January in 1994. And after everything that we've seen, we now understand why when we open the pages of this comic that our heart just immediately drops and we can see the torment that Hal Jordan is going through. This is Hal Jordan. He's a Green Lantern, maybe the best Green Lantern. And with that, I love how the dialogue explains what's happening, which we'll get to in a moment, but it also explains just how small Hal is compared to this massive destruction of his home city, Coast City. This is part one, The Past. This is Ron Marz writing, Bill Williamson doing the penciling, Romero Tangal doing, and Robert Campanella doing the inks, Albert de Guzman doing the lettering, Anthony Tulling doing the coloring. This is a hole in the ground. It's 12 miles in diameter, roughly. It's a very big hole, but not even close to the size of the hole in Hal Jordan's life. Not by far. You see, the hole used to be Coast City, home to a great deal Hal Jordan held dear. This is the place Hal Jordan grew up, where he worshipped at the shrine he called Father, where he first knew love. And this is the place where he started to become the man he is. But that's all gone now, expunged by a madman's dream of conquests. And all that's left is, well, a hole. And so we get the skill of what Hal Jordan's feeling, but just seeing this giant crater with Hal just here, defeated, it just visually hits you. And then you can kind of start to see where Hal starts to think differently than being a member of the Green Lantern Corps. Some time ago, a man dropped from the stars. He was dying. His last act was to bequeath Hal Jordan a wondrous ring. The power of the ring knows few strictures. Truly, it is bound only by the will of the bearer. With such a ring, you could do anything if you wanted badly enough. And so we see that Hal tries to revive Coast City. And then you start to wonder as we go through this, is this Hal actually bringing back the dead with the power of the ring and willpower, or is this his subconscious? And he actually has a moment with his dad. Just once, you hardly knew I was alive. You were always patting Jack or Jim on the back, telling them how great they were. Your brothers, they'd done things, had real accomplishments. You always had your head in the clouds. You were a space case. That what you thought of me? Well, why don't you take a look at what this space case turned into? You didn't give me one damn bit of encouragement, and I'm a hero now. No thanks to you. Do you have any idea the things I've done? Like what, Hal? Didn't do much to save Coast City, did you? And that's where it makes you wonder if this is Hal's inner thoughts talking back to him, because he looked at his dad like a hero. So to actually see his father say that, you know that he is just basically reliving his own subconscious in his own little la-la land, wanting to rewrite a happy ending, seeing his first love, and the color palette, just this green, and then this whole power of a god, like, look and behold what I've done. You can see, just in his facial expressions, the changes that Hal is going through. Especially when he talks about how he tries to apologize to his first love, saying, you brought me out of the pit of despair when my dad passed, and I just left you. I'm sorry. But before he can really get any closure, his ring runs out of energy. It's not fair. And then Ganthet comes and he goes, personal gain, this is about personal loss. Can you withered old gnomes even grasp the concept? Or is it that you just you get your jollies by screwing with good old Hal's? Discussion was not invited. Surrender your ring and prepare for transportation to Oa. he goes, oh, I'll come to Oa, but you're not going to like me when I get there. And so, in this, after finally getting Clark back, basically losing Bruce with his broken back, we now see Hal Jordan, one of our greatest heroes, start to fall to a failure that he cannot bring himself back from. Because he cannot let go of the fact that he failed Coast City, even though he didn't know this was happening. It's a lot of hurt in this book, but makes for a great, tragic read. The artwork, the line work, just adds so much, especially these opening panels. It just, tonality just sets the series up right away, and you're just thinking, God, hell, it's okay. It wasn't your fault. But when people are grief-stricken, it's hard to help that person when they don't want to be helped and rather blame themselves and try to do something with the power that they're given. And sadly, it just got to Hal Jordan. And the next 2 issues of Emerald Twilight do not get any better. So buckle up, Buttercup. We are in for one tragic story of the fall of a hero. I highly recommend this series. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is that to get your action figures and comics and get this series. If you've enjoyed this review, I really would appreciate it if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you mind hitting that fancy little lantern bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified, come to the channel. And I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.